Secret tunnels, subterranean libraries, and the globe's most competitive baristas? There's a great deal more to Melbourne than meets the eye. You think you know Melbourne? Think again. I'd always believed it was simply coffee, footy, and laneways, but what I discovered had me dumbfounded. These aren't random facts. These are things that will change the way you perceive the city forever, particularly number 6. And talking about surprises, did you hear about how there may be an underground city in Melbourne? Number 1. The State Library's secret power. So, imagine this. A tourist walks into the State Library of Victoria, thinking it's just another quiet building packed with dusty shelves, maybe even a good place to kill an hour in the city. But instead, they walk into one of the most jaw-dropping reading rooms on Earth. The La Trobe Reading Room feels like a sacred place. Octagonal in shape, its towering dome just floods the space with natural light. From above, it looks like something out of a Wes Anderson film. People don't just come here to read, they come to breathe it in. But there's more to the library than just Instagram-worthy architecture. With over 2 million books, original manuscripts from Australian literary giants, and hidden exhibitions tucked into side halls, this place feels alive. You'll find secret study rooms below ground level, an actual chess room that hosts casual and competitive games, and even free co-working spaces. The best part? It's completely free. In a world of overpriced attractions, Melbourne's most inspiring building asks for nothing except your curiosity. But the real stories aren't just in books, they're in the alleyways. Number 2, Melbourne, a city of literature. Melbourne isn't just about reading, it breathes storytelling. In 2008, it was crowned a UNESCO City of Literature, the first in the Southern Hemisphere to earn the title. That's not just a shiny label, it's a reflection of how deep books run through this city's veins. Every year, Melbourne hosts the Melbourne Writers' Festival, Emerging Writers' Festival, and countless local meetups for poetry slams, zine fairs, and book clubs that pop up in bars, rooftops, and even trams. Ever heard of Helen Garner? Or Christos Tsiolkas? They found their voice here. Some of Australia's most iconic literature is soaked in Melbourne's gritty streets, quiet corners, and wild character. Even the laneways speak in sentences. You'll spot literary quotes stenciled into alley walls, book-themed art installations tucked between buildings, and bookstores like Reading's and the Brunswick Street bookstore that feel more like temples than shops. This city doesn't just love stories, it lives inside them. But the alleyways hold more than quotes. They're living, breathing canvases. Number 3, Hosier Lane and graffiti culture. Down a cobbled path behind a cathedral sits one of Melbourne's loudest expressions, Hosier Lane. It's where graffiti isn't illegal, it's celebrated. The walls here change almost daily. What's painted in the morning might be covered by something new by sundown. Tourists might snap a picture, but only locals understand the deeper message. You're not just looking at spray paint. You're looking at social commentary, political protest, heartbreak, joy, rebellion, layers on layers of raw human emotion. This is unfiltered Melbourne. And it's not just Hosier. AC/DC Lane, Duckboard Place, Blender Lane. They all pulse with colour and energy. If you blink, you'll miss something beautiful, or something brutal. A local artist from Fitzroy once said, "Melbourne's laneways are like diaries. You just have to know how to read them." But here's something they don't put on postcards. Melbourne's obsession with one drink. Number 4, coffee obsession to a whole new level. Try walking into a Melbourne cafe and ordering just a coffee. You'll be met with raised eyebrows, confused looks, maybe even a sigh. Because in Melbourne, there is no such thing as just coffee. You better know your terms. Flat white, long black, magic, piccolo, or even a short mac topped up. Each one has its own culture, its own ritual. And behind that espresso machine, You'll find a barista with more training than a sommelier. They don't just pour coffee, they craft it. There's a science to it: bean origin, roast date, milk to coffee ratio, temperature and creamer texture. Melbourne hosts the International Coffee Expo, and some of the world's best baristas train here. Cafes like Proud Mary, Axel and Seven Seeds roast their beans in-house. The latte art isn't for show, it's a badge of honour. You haven't had coffee until you've had it here. But while Melbourne sips espresso, it's also quietly saving the planet. Number 5. Solar trams and green moves. Here's something wild. Melbourne's trams, the largest network in the world, are 100% solar powered. That's not a futuristic goal. That's right now. The city powers its iconic Yarra trams through massive solar farms outside the metro region. It's part of a push to make public transport not just efficient, but emissions-free. And it's not stopping there. Post-2020, Melbourne exploded with new bike lanes, pedestrian zones, and green building incentives. Even buses are switching to hydrogen fuel in pilot programs. It's not just policy, it's lifestyle. Locals hop on trams, ride e-scooters, and stroll through green paths between skyscrapers. It all adds up. But go beyond the infrastructure, and you'll find entire secret gardens hidden in plain sight. Number 6. The city's hidden gardens. You could be standing in downtown Melbourne, surrounded by office towers, and suddenly stumble into a rainforest oasis. The Royal Botanic Gardens, just minutes from the CBD, is 94 acres of curated wilderness. With lakes, tropical plants, and birds you've never heard of, it feels like a different world. But the real magic? It doesn't stop there. All over the city, pocket parks, rooftop gardens, and living walls cool the concrete jungle. Cafes are covered in vines. Apartment buildings bloom with vertical forests. Even hidden alleys sometimes open into microgardens with benches, public art, and local herbs growing in the corners. A local family said, "When we moved here, we thought we'd miss having a backyard. Then we realised the city is our backyard." Still think it's all laid-back Aussie vibes? Just wait till the footy sirens start blaring. Number 7. AFL isn't just a sport, it's a religion. You haven't really felt Melbourne until you've heard 100,000 people scream at once inside the Melbourne Cricket Ground, or MCG. To outsiders, AFL, Australian rules football, looks like a chaotic mess of running, punching, kicking and jumping. But in Melbourne, it's sacred. Clubs like Collingwood, Carlton and Richmond are more than teams. They're tribes passed down like family heirlooms. Walk into a pub during the finals and you'll feel it in your bones. Strangers become allies or enemies based on the scarf you're wearing. It's tribal, emotional and honestly, just unforgettable. On grand final day, the entire city transforms. There are parades, barbecues, themed donuts and traffic slows to a crawl because, well, everyone is glued to the screen. For many Melburnians, the MCG isn't a stadium, it's a second home. And here's the kicker: players are treated like celebrities, but you might still bump into them grabbing a flat white after training. That's just Melbourne. Legendary and laid back at the same time. But if you think the city only lives in the past, wait till you see what's next. Number 8. Melbourne's future isn't just sports, it's esports. Melbourne doesn't just worship tradition, it rewrites it. While AFL rules the weekends, there's a new generation rising underground, in neon-lit gaming arenas. That's right, esports is blowing up here. Venues like Fortress Melbourne, the largest gaming venue in the Southern Hemisphere, are turning competitive gaming into an event on par with traditional sports. Inside, you'll find tournaments for games like League of Legends and Valorant being streamed live on massive screens. Pro teams train here. Fans gather, cheer, and wear jerseys like it's a playoff game. The future of sport in this city? It's as diverse and dynamic as the people who live here. So what happens when you mix art, sport, gardens, and graffiti? You get something that doesn't just surprise you, it redefines what a city can be. Melbourne, a city that hides in plain sight. So what did we just uncover? We saw a library that looks like a palace, street art that changes daily, and a city that dares you to learn its coffee language. We wandered into solar-powered tram networks, secret rooftop gardens, and a sports culture that roars louder than any stadium in the world. But the real story? Melbourne isn't flashy. It doesn't shout. It whispers, and only those paying attention get to hear what it's really saying. It's a place of layers, of contradictions, of quiet genius hiding in street corners, back alleys, and under the very ground you're walking on. Whether you've lived here your whole life or are planning your first trip, you'll never see Melbourne the same way again. So, which one shocked you the most? Was it the coffee cult, the underground gardens, or maybe the idea of a hidden city beneath your feet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. And if you're into cities that surprise you, shock you, and make you say, "How did I not know this?" Hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. Up next, the unexpected side of Tokyo. Don't miss it. Hit that bell.